Just got out of the movie. I got this cool poster at the theater. They're giving it away. So let's just get right into it. Non-spoiler review. My initial thoughts, just getting right out of the theater. I thought this was a really solid movie. Now, I saw 100%. I try not to look at Rotten Tomatoes, but it's hard to not notice them. The 100% rating, I really disagree with that. I think that does this movie a huge disservice. You know, I didn't think it was a perfect movie, so I think throwing around 100% is a little crazy. That being said, I thought this movie was really solid. There were some things I didn't like, which I'll get into in my spoiler review, but overall, definitely a solid movie. I definitely recommend it. You know, Ryan Coogler, I think, did a really good job. I thought the set design and the costume design was definitely the best. The period piece stuff, you know, taking place in the Deep South, I believe in the 30s, maybe the 20s, but probably around the early 30s. Really good stuff. I think it might be Oscar nominated both for set design, costume design, and all of those kind of, you know, subcategories. Michael B. Jordan did a really good job. This was a tough role. I don't want to give it away, but he does have to bring a lot of elements to acting. So I think he's definitely kind of leveled up his game, you know, and is really getting better as an actor. I think he did a better job. Even then, you know, when he played Killmonger, I think sometimes, I don't want to say he came off as cartoonish, but I think his line deliveries are better now. And he definitely has a lot of charisma. I mean, he's like a real movie star. He's like as close to the movie stars we have right now. And he's honestly making the movies that I always talk about this, that I think The Rock should have made. Just like these really, you know, good action movies, or sports movies where he's just kind of, you know, being badass the whole time, basically. I would kind of divide this movie into, I guess, three, you know, main parts. There's the period piece in the 30s. There's music. Music is a huge part of this movie. And then there is the third part, which is the vampires. The vampires, obviously. Those, to me, are really the three pillars. Of the three, you know, pillars of the movie that I mentioned, the one that I really liked the most was the period piece. Honestly, I felt like the vampire stuff may have been the weakest part of this movie. In a weird way, when I was watching the first half of this movie, I was almost thinking like this could be like its own streaming show. This could be its own thing. Just Michael B. Jordan kind of in the early 30s being kind of like a gangster character. I don't mean that as slang. I mean literally like a gangster in the 30s, which is what he plays in this movie. You know, they mention Al Capone, and to me, it was almost like, I kind of want to see that. And it almost reminded me, not to get into spoilers, but like if you've watched Paradise kind of starts, you know, as like a certain show, episode 1, and then it takes a huge shift episode 2. And I was almost watching this being like, man, I kind of want to see that movie. Now, the vampire stuff wasn't bad. I feel like, you know, when I talked about this movie not being perfect and kind of my issues, I feel like, okay,